welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, please hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified now I post a new video. I'm also simultaneously streaming this to Facebook Asexualized page. So hello to Facebook people. And this is from my phone. So if you're on Facebook, like Asexualized page, don't forget to follow the page and click the bell icon underneath the videos to get notifications of every time I go live like that. So we are going to be discussing in a moment the difference between romantic versus sensual attraction. Because from memory, this is what someone asked me on YouTube a while ago. And because I was doing Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month last month, I didn't get around to answering all your questions. So I'm doing that now. Now, if you didn't already know, I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, out on Amazon. So, yeah, asexuality is what I love to talk about on this channel. I've been helping asexuals now for almost 6 years because it's October 2015 that I started, and we're now in 2021. Also the author of Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook as well. So, today's video, yes, let's get back to the topic, is what is romantic attraction versus sexual attraction? Not sexual attraction, sensual attraction. That's important to know. I said sensual, not sexual attraction, right? So, first of all, to know the difference between romantic and sensual, not sexual attraction, we need to know what romantic attraction is and what sensual attraction is, so we don't confuse the two, right? So, romantic attraction, what is romantic attraction? Romantic attraction is a feeling of romance. So what's romance? Romance is a feeling, like an intense feeling, that you want to be romantic with that person, do romantic gestures, do romantic things. So, for example, you might want to send the person little love hearts, a love note, little heart stickers, for example, like the little emojis that you see on Facebook. They're called stickers a lot of the time. So you might want to send them love stickers. You might want to hold their hand, kiss and cuddle them, like do things with a view to having love at the forefront and intimacy in a more romantic nature. So if we take someone who's not romantic, they wouldn't usually be thinking about, like going for moonlit walks and that leading to kissing and, going out on dates as such and stuff like this. So it's very difficult because romance is basically a perception. So, like a lot of things are perceptions in life, right? Romance is a perception, but it's also a feeling. But aromantic asexuals that don't experience romantic attraction or sexual attraction, they could still be doing some actions that would be seen as romantic, despite not experiencing romantic attraction. So, romantic attraction is usually when you want to hug, kiss, cuddle the person, hold their hand. You usually romance, you desire quite a lot of physical touch as part of that. And you want the intimacy. So you kind of feel like butterflies in the tummy as well. You feel like kind of like maybe a little giddy school girl or boy or whatever gender you are. You might feel like, oh my gosh, you might feel shy around that person. You might feel like you really just want to be kind of like cuddling that person and sharing like a lot of what other people would see as romantic things together. It's very difficult because, like I said, I have come across aromantic asexuals that do a lot of the same actions as I would expect a romantic person to do with me. But they don't think what they're doing is at all romantic, so therefore it's not, right? Because romance is an attitude, is a mindset, is a feeling, is an emotion. And that exhibits in certain behaviors, in certain attitudes, in certain thinking, in certain ways people write things. So, for example, I could have an aromantic asexual message me, and they could just be messaging me intensely, like backwards and forwards conversation, really getting into the conversation with me. And that can be seen as a form of intimacy. And also in the heterosexual world, if I was doing that with a heterosexual guy, they were doing that with me. It's back and forwards conversation over multiple messages. That would mean you're interested in a relationship usually with the person. But an aromantic asexual just means that as a friend, like they just see that as a friend, and they just really love chatting as a friend, and that's all they see it as. But to a romantic person, that would come across as romantic if the person intended it to be romantic in nature. So this is where it gets quite complicated, because like it really is to do with who's giving that out, giving that information out, giving those signals out, giving those behaviors out, and how the person who's receiving those behaviors actually interprets them. So, but in general, people who are romantic, they want to kiss, they want to cuddle, they want to do romantic gestures like walking under the moonlight and the stars, maybe when it's raining, because it's kind of crazy but romantic at the same time. Holding hands, like even in the streets, cuddling together, like under a blanket, under like under the stars or something. And they can do things that are quite crazy and maybe not very sensible, but it's a feeling like you're doing something for that person that makes it feel romantic. So, like I said, you might be in the rain, but huddled under a blanket together, and that might be seen as romantic, even though you're freezing cold. You know. So for me, being romantic is I just see everything as cute and cuddly a lot of the time. Like I can see a statue of a gnome and I think, oh God, that's so sweet. I can see minions and I think they're so cute. And if I get stickers from guys or kisses or hearts, I can feel romance. But I know a lot of the time that people do that in modern society. They do it even to their friends these days. So that's why it can get a bit confusing. But I just accept everyone does it now and they don't mean anything by it usually. Took me a long time to accept that because used to only do that to people that I was in a relationship with or really wanted to be in a relationship with. Now it's just like kind of normal on social media for people to send hearts and kisses to each other that they don't even want to be in a relationship with. So it took me a while to get used to that. Because for me, ideally I want to be kissing and cuddling and sending that type of stuff to someone in a relationship. But I'm not in a relationship and I'm used to giving love out to everyone now. So it's kind of like part of my personality now, I think. So that's kind of like the romantic side of things, like going for a candlelit meal, maybe putting rose petals all around the bed, running your partner a bubble bath, um, singing to them, like serenading them when you're playing guitar or something, or just singing them a love song, writing them a love poem. So a lot of the time, the focus and emphasis is not on love stuff, lovey-dovey stuff. When you're romantic and got romantic feelings, it's like you're loved up, and it's like you kind of get adrenaline rush, you kind of get dopamine hit, you get these chemicals going, oh, 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 like that, a bit like that, right? Now, sensual attraction is a different thing, but romantic attraction can incorporate sensual attraction in it. But sensual attraction is when someone wants to touch you, like your skin, and feel it, and so someone might just want to stroke your shoulder like this, stroke your arm, and that's sensual. So they're feeling you, they're touching you usually. Although some people class sensual attraction as to do with the senses, like smell, sight, sound, taste, all these type of things. So some people class sensual as the senses and everything that's involved in that. On a basic level, though, sensual attraction is when someone wants to touch and kind of feel you and feel they might want to pat you on the shoulder, they might want to stroke your arm, they might want to stroke your face and your hair and, your skin. And it's kind of like this is a sensual side, right? So I have sensual attraction with the guy's upper body, so from the waist up. And what this means for me is I want to stroke his chest. I want to stroke his shoulders. I want to stroke down his arms. I want to hold his hands. I want to stroke his face. I want to kiss his lips. I want to put my hands through his hair. I want to lick his ear, lick or kiss his earlobes. I want to kiss his neck. So it makes me want to touch him on a very physically intimate level. Now, some people, like I said, may experience sensual attraction and they may not actually have an intimate romantic relationship. They might just be a type of person that's got to feel like touchy-feely. They always like to feel someone. That's like sensual attraction. They're attracted to the person's body in a sensual way. They don't have to have sex with it, but they want to stroke it and touch it and pat it and pet it and all this lot. Right? So you could get someone who's an aromantic asexual, someone who lacks romantic attraction, lacks sexual attraction, but who still experiences sensual attraction because they still, like maybe like cuddles, or they just like to stroke, they just like a pat on the back or to touch the shoulder or to stroke the arm. It's kind of comforting to them and it makes them bonded with the person and feel like a sense of companionship, maybe camaraderie, and also closeness in even a friendship way. There's a lot of asexuals that aren't even in romantic relationships, or don't even want romantic relationships, or are aromantic and like to cuddle their friends. That's a very sensual thing because you're cuddling them, you're touching them. And, for some aromantic asexuals, it provides a sense of comfort, of warmth, of, good feelings for them. For me, I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone who was doing that to other people because for me, that's a boundary that I wouldn't want someone to cross in a romantic relationship. To me, that's only reserved for a romantic relationship. But I know quite a few aromantic asexuals where they just have to cuddle their friends. It's part of who they are. They feel like comforted by it. They feel like it's the right thing to do. They feel like comfort and warmth through it. And so, every person is different, but sexual people can mistake sensual attraction for sexual attraction because sensual attraction is very touchy-feely, and as part of a sex act they would usually be sensual touching. Like, for example, massage is a very sensual thing. Pouring essential oils on your partner and rubbing them in is a very sensual thing, and these can be part of a sexual act. So you have to understand that sexuals will have to have you explain to them if you like sensual attraction. If you experience sensual attraction, you don't experience sexual attraction, you'll need to explain to them what it means. That you like touching, that you like, maybe you like, receiving as well, sensual touch, like someone kissing and caressing your body, but it's coming from a place of sensuality rather than from a place of sexuality, rather from a sex point of view. It's coming from a point of view of you like the feeling, the sensation of it. Sensation, sensual attraction. So it's basically you're feeling the sensation of it, if you understand. So you have to explain if you get into a relationship with a heterosexual that if you experience sensual attraction but not sexual attraction, that you like the sensation of the touch, you like the sensation of the kiss, the sensation of the caress, the sensation of the feel and the touch and the feeling that gives you, so that they are able to understand the difference. Because if you don't want sex but you still want sensual touching, you need to let them know this. Of course, with a sexual person, a lot of the time they will automatically want sex after that because it's a prequel to sex for them. Just like romance is usually, like if someone goes for a romantic candlelit dinner, for example, and they're a sexual person you're going with, they usually expect that dinner to end up with you sleeping with them, as in having sex with them. Because any type of attraction to them is usually linked to sexual attraction. They don't usually separate the different types of attractions like asexuals can and do in some cases. Like, I've got a video about 8 types of asexual attraction that I personally experience. And there's more, obviously. But, you check out the video if you haven't already. So, it's very important you understand there are different types of attraction and that sexuals really usually package them all up into sexual attraction, going as a whole complete package. You know, like they experience, you know, like sexual attraction, they incorporate aesthetic attraction, romantic attraction, sensual attraction. So basically, a sexual person who's romantic in nature would take a girl out for a meal. That'll be seen as romantic, like a romantic date. They then start to probably try and hold their hand, which would be the sensual part of it. Obviously, if they're aesthetically attracted to them, that's what would make them want to hold their hand as well. And also, then they might want to kiss or to get physical because they're aesthetically attracted. So the aesthetic attraction draws that person, that sexual person, to you like a magnet, and they want to be involved more intimately with someone who's highly aesthetic attractive to them, right? And so this will all be encompassed in the sexual attraction, wanting to have sex with you, leading up to it. So you have to understand how sexual's mind work. I'm not saying every single time you go out for a meal it's going to end up in sex, but a lot of the time, if you're with a person who's sexual, who's got a regular sex drive or more, then this is what usually leads to. Let's go out, let's have a nice meal out, blah, 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 you know. I mean, my ex used to like things like Christmas holidays, so he could have sex with me. This is before I found out I was asexual. I've been happily sex-free for nearly 10 years now. But you know, I mean, he used to look forward to like Christmas because that was the time when he knew or believed he would be having sex with me, you know? And so, you know, like for me, I just want to open the presents and enjoy my time and have fun. You know what I mean? There's not the sexual type. But for him, it's like, oh yeah, we can do all the presents. You can dress in the Santa outfit he gave me years ago. Horrible. And well, I looked good in the outfit, but it was to have sex with him. You know, that's what he bought it me for, and it's just horrible. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, people who are sexual often have ulterior motives for why they're doing something, and the ulterior motive usually is sex on their mind. If they are a sexual who's very interested in sex, so they will, you know, they will give you a romantic meal, they will touch you, they will be aesthetically attracted to you with a view to it going towards sex, right? Whereas an asexual person could experience romantic attraction and or sensual attraction and still never want sex, because those attractions can be experienced in and of their own right and can be enjoyed in and of their own right without it ever leading to anything else. I know some aromantics, for example, who experience aesthetic attraction but not romantic attraction, and they don't necessarily experience sensual attraction. They experience aesthetic. They think the person's got a very beautiful face, for example. They get aesthetically attracted to someone. So just because an aromantic lacks romantic attraction doesn't mean to say they can't have other attractions. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now, I post a new video. And if you're on Facebook, don't forget to like Asexualized page, hit the follow button, and also the notification bell so you get notified every time I go live like now, post a new video. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you tonight. Looking forward to seeing you again, and I'll see you on the next video live stream. Take care, lots of love. Bye bye. Bye. Lots of love.